A couple of weeks ago, Redeemed Zoomer put out this video with Deacon Mirit Malaku. He's the guy who went viral for having that debate with that Cliff Protestant guy, where they were arguing about sacraments and orthodoxy and Protestantism and all of this. And right after Zoomer put out this video, Zoomer started a live stream. And because he just put out a video with an Oriental Orthodox, a lot of the people in the chat were Oriental Orthodox. I wish I could find the clip, but it looks like Redeemed Zoomer, he takes down all of his live streams after he's done with them. But that's neither here nor there. So then during the live stream, some people were asking him about Oriental Orthodoxy. And Redeemed Zoomer said, I'm actually rather convinced about Oriental Orthodoxy. It makes a lot of sense, except for the fact that it's so small and niche. And Redeemed Zoomer was saying because it's so small and niche, it couldn't possibly have the fullness of the truth. And this fallacy is called the appeal to popularity. Listen, I love Redeemed Zoomer, but this is super fallacious. It's the age-old question. If all your friends jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge? Just because a lot of people are doing something, or a lot of people believe something, or a lot of people aren't doing something or believe something, doesn't mean it's true or false. That doesn't have anything to do with whether or not the thing is correct or not. And it's like saying that, oh, Jesus only had 12 disciples, but Muhammad, he had way more than that. Islam must be true. And right now, Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. Does that mean just because it's the fastest growing religion, that it's a true religion? Of course, it doesn't work this way. And the Bible does say narrow is the gate. So it's not unreasonable that the fullness of the truth might be found in a smaller population of the planet. But then that begs the question. It's like, okay, well, does that mean all of these other people, all of these Roman Catholics, all of these Protestants, Eastern Orthodox, are they going to go to hell? It's a good question. And although the Oriental Orthodox tradition, the early church fathers would say things like the church is the ark of salvation in reference to Noah's Ark, where you get in Noah's Ark and you're saved from the flood. The stance of the Oriental Orthodox Church is nuanced. The Oriental Orthodox Church says that God is merciful and the economy or the process of salvation itself is mysterious. And so we don't really know the answer to this question. We don't. Now we will affirm that the fullness of the truth is found within the apostolic tradition of Oriental Orthodoxy. And this is the surest path. This is the preferred, the correct path, the only true path to salvation. But whether or not, as individuals, we can judge whether some Protestant or some Roman Catholic or whoever else is going to go to heaven, we leave that up to God. We've put up our hands and we acknowledge our limits and we say, we don't know. That's up to God on an individual basis. And it reminds me of something that C.S. Lewis said in Mere Christianity. C.S. Lewis said that the right answer is a lot like a math problem. Let's take 1 + 1. Different people will have different answers to 1 + 1, hypothetically. I mean, everyone knows it's 2. But hypothetically, someone might say, oh, it's 3, oh, it's 7, oh, it's 12, oh, it's 27, oh, it's 2. And although there's only one right answer, which is 2, some answers are closer and further away than others. The guy who said 3 was closer than the guy who said 300. And also, we have been making efforts, especially the Coptic Church and the Oriental Orthodox churches, to have ecumenism and to reconcile with some of the other branches of Christianity. Of course, we were in dialogue with Rome for quite a while, up until very recently. We're hoping to resume that again. And we've been having talks even with the EO and the Patriarchate. The Greek Patriarchate of Alexandria started to recognize the baptisms from the Oriental Orthodox Church, or if you're Oriental Orthodox and you were already baptized, you don't have to get rebaptized, and vice versa, where we will recognize their baptisms as well, and we won't rebaptize somebody. And so you could see that there's nuance, and the internet hates nuance. The internet cannot stand nuance. Everything in the internet's black and white, but in the real world, it doesn't work that way. Not everything is so crystal clear. And we have the humility to say we really don't know the answer to whether or not these people are going to go to heaven or hell. Now, if you ask me for my own personal opinion, personally, okay, everything I'm about to say is just what I think. It's not a representation of the Oriental Orthodox Church belief or anyone else's belief. It's just me. I think that probably, yeah, God will allow and grant salvation to some people outside of the Oriental Orthodox communion. The reason why I think that is because I look at some Protestants, I look at Roman Catholics, I look at some Eastern Orthodox, and I find that some of them really, actually, really do love Jesus. Now, do I know that for a fact? Of course, I don't know that for the fact. Only God knows what's inside of the heart of every man. But based on kind of what I can observe, it seems like there are people outside of my tradition that do love Jesus. And so if I were to guess, probably, some of them would end up having salvation, but what do I know? I don't know.